The Brooklyn Nets have some tough decisions to make. Are they going to bring back Kyrie Irving? What's the future of their team? JC, you haven't talked about the Nets since you've been on the podcast. So this is your opportunity to just vent about everything your team has done to this point, the playoff disappointment. You know, the floor is yours to talk about the Nets.
Okay, so what's the question again about Kyrie Irving? Should we extend him?
Do you think he should come back? Should the Nets bring him back?
Man, Kyrie Irving has the Nets in such a dilemma / chokehold right now, to be honest with you. Because essentially, if you trade him, you run or let him walk, you run the risk of losing Kevin Durant. And he's probably the sole reason that Kevin Durant is there right now. And then another thing that you punt away is your championship aspirations if you were to give up Kyrie Irving as well. The Brooklyn Nets, first year they were together, it was a redshirt year for Kevin Durant coming off an Achilles. Kyrie Irving essentially ended up playing 20 games that year. And that was just a throwaway year. Every Nets fan knew that was a throwaway year. The next year, Kyrie Irving that was one of the most healthiest seasons that Kyrie Irving played. I believe he played
It's one of his best seasons also.
No, that probably is his best season
the 50-40-90?
The 50-40-90, he was available. If he didn't take off those a week or 10 days, he would have been probably cracked close to 65, 66 games, which is like unheard of for Kyrie Irving because he's a really injury-prone player.
He played 71 in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And 75.
That's an anomaly.
And 67 in Boston.
So, as far as...
He must hate Brooklyn.
That's quiet. But anyways, so I mean, look, with Kyrie Irving, like I said, if you let him walk, you run the risk of losing Kevin Durant, and then you're essentially punting your championship aspirations. It's been difficult for the Nets because the second year, I do believe, you guys can get mad at me all you want, I do believe if the big three were healthy, I do believe they would have beat the Bucks and ran through the East and beat the Suns in the finals.
Are we talking about 2 seasons ago,
No. But this is not a
JC?
debate. You guys think what you want. I think what I think.
I mean,
All right. So then last year, obviously the vaccine mandate messed him up, which is another reason he missed about 80% of the season. In the games that he did play this season, he averaged 27 points on 47% field goal shooting on 42% from the three. So he was good.
Then he hit the playoffs.
And then he hit the playoffs. It was bad against Boston. But my only thing is the Nets, it's crazy because every year they've had something going against them, whether it be one year, the redshirt Kevin Durant season where we punted it away, Kyrie only played 20 games. The second season when we were all intact going into the playoffs, catastrophic injuries happened to Kyrie Irving and James Harden. We lose that series. Then this year, the vaccine mandate and everything, the roster construction, everything was bad. James Harden leaving in the middle of the season. Now you have a chance to add Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving. Joe Harris missed last year as well too. He's a great shooter, solid defender too. We missed him. He's a great shooter. Don't even disrespect him though.
Bro, he's
he was
amazing.
shooting. Now you making faces because he was shooting 46% leading the
and
NBA.
then he drops off in the playoffs and becomes stinky.
It's fine though, but. It's fine. We got Seth
That's
Curry
true,
for that.
against
We
the
got
Bucks, bro.
We got Seth Curry.
ass.
Yeah, he's the reason we lost. But I mean, to be honest with you, I think that you have to sign Kyrie Irving. I think that you have to give it a shot. I think you have to put all your chips in on this season. I think you have to put your chips in for Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Joe Harris, everybody coming back being healthy. The Nets also have 2 first-round picks and a couple like a Nick Claxton, solid young players that you can trade to a team like Detroit and hopefully prize someone like a Jeremy Grant. Obviously, that's just a big what if.
Miles Turner's
good too. I like him. So there's a lot of options for the Nets. So I'm of the mindset that you have to bring Kyrie Irving back because if you don't, essentially you're going to lose Kevin Durant. And let's just say you lose Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Who are we stuck with as our building block? Ben Simmons and a bunch of just nobodies. Let's just be honest. Just call it what it is. It's a bunch of nobodies. So I think the Nets have to get more. I think the Nets have to get more defensive depth as well. Ben Simmons is definitely going to fix that, but I think a role player too, a 3-and-D wing. Hopefully Claxton takes a leap. If not, hopefully we can ship him for Miles Turner. But I think your misfortune the first 3 years, whether it be the injuries the first 2 years and the vaccine mandate, team chemistry all being messed up. I think that this is the last chance for the Brooklyn Nets to make a push for the championship. It sucks that the Eastern Conference, as we know, used to be bad. Now it's just as good as the Western Conference, so it's not going to be a cakewalk like it was supposed to be the first year or the second year when they was all healthy. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition. But yeah, I think that you have to sign Kyrie Irving. He has you in a chokehold right now. You don't want to lose Kevin Durant. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you still have aspirations. I mean, you're deep into the luxury tax. You just have to go all in. This is your last chance to win a championship with this 3. You trade for Ben Simmons. It'd be a shame if you don't at least give this 3 a try with everybody hopefully being healthy. But I'm of the mindset that we have to give Kyrie Irving this contract. He has us in a chokehold, and if we don't sign him, Kevin Durant's gone, and then everything's just gonna go downhill. We don't even control our own destiny or have our own picks. We have a lot of pick spots for Houston. So if I'm a Nets fan, I think we go all in this year. If we don't win, it's life. We get rid of all of them, but you have to give it one more chance. You have to go.
You want to go, bro?
You have to give it a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
And don't disrespect, because Ben Simmons is like that.
You know, I had.
Wait, that's your man's, bro. You better.
No,
Your
so
man's
I
better
didn't
not.
laugh.
Your
I
man's
didn't
better
laugh.
not be trash.
I didn't
bro.
laugh.
I'm gonna
I
be
had
Ben
I had
Simmons, I
no
didn't laugh.
I don't
idea.
even like Ben.
I had no idea like this show we were gonna get into this Miles Bridges thing. So
He's still
I quickly
on
just did
No,
the-
bro. Come on. We're on the Nets.
This is gonna take
No,
30 seconds.
bro, come on,
This is gonna take
man.
30 seconds. He had
Petty.
a better defensive field goal percentage than Jeremy Grant, Scotty Barnes, Dorian Finney-Smith, and he's actually right with Dylan Brooks, 45.3% defensive field goal percentage.
So
I think those guys guard better players though. On opposing
He's also
nights.
has a better defensive field goal percentage than Mikal Bridges. Not saying he's a better defender.
He's not a better defender than any of those
All
guys
right,
you
bro.
just
So
named.
I don't know if this is.
No, but I'm just saying that's like the stat. You know, I didn't know I was.
where'd you find
supposed
this?
to-
but
you have
NBA.com.
to, but you have to look who he guards every
We
night.
can easily debunk that by saying Bridges guards the best player every night.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Mikal.
Oh, I
Mikal.
thought Miles Bridges.
Miles
no.
doesn't. Dylan
Okay.
Brooks also.
Yes,
Scotty Barnes also
That's what I'm
as
saying.
a rookie. The Jeremy Grant one, I can't.
I still
defend
think
that.
Jeremy Grant's a better defender than
Well,
him.
what I'm saying is that that's still a good defensive field goal percentage.
Oh, when you're guarding nobody. Okay, interesting.
Miles
Third and
Bridges.
fourth
I mean, you don't
options?
know if Miles Bridges is guarding nobody.
See what I'm saying?
Who do they stick on? What player on the Hornets do they stick on the best player?
I doubt it's Miles.
Well, who would you would do it? Rozier would be the guy.
I think
LaMelo would be the guy.
I think LaMelo.
Gordon Hayward would be the
LaMelo
guy.
just go up
LaMelo
and
might
match
be the
up.
best defensive player.
I think
I don't
they
think
just
they
go up and
stick him
match
on the
up.
best
That's
I
player.
think they
not
match up and
I
just
think
go.
Gordon Hayward goes on the best player,
Yeah, I
bro.
think they just say whatever. We're not going to guard anyway.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that's just a stat to show that at least defensive field goal percentage wise, he is good.
Really, that's interesting.
Yes,
It's funny how you had to look that up instead of just telling us off the back of your mind.
I didn't know we were
Still
going to
do
get into
that
Miles
film
Bridges
analysis,
debate.
though.
Yeah,
Still
I
do
didn't know
that
we were
film
going to get
analysis.
into Miles Bridges debate.
We didn't know
If I
either,
see
man.
him guarding
Alright.
Max Struss and these other guys who don't mean anything,
Can we
I'm
talk
gonna
about
be
the
like,
Nets,
tight.
please? Let's talk about the Nets.
JC.
Oh man. Oh man.
Bro, I'm sick. I'm sick. You were not here when y'all got swept.
I'm happy I was.
You missed.
Nah,
missed you.
I caught a brunt of it everywhere I went.
missed
though.
you, bro.
I work with like a bunch of Celtics fans. I ain't hear. I still don't hear the end of it.
Should the Nets bring back Kyrie? Of course. You know, I think that's duh. You know, Kyrie's he's still a great player. You know, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, they haven't played together. You know, you still got to bring some guys, and then, you know, you still got Joe Harris, Seth Curry. You got some spacing. Drummond, I feel like you guys should try to bring him
He
back.
doesn't want to come back.
Well, there's that. Claxton
he
is still
might,
a
though.
good young player. Cam Thomas is still cool. Kessler Edwards, he's shown signs. He's okay, maybe. You got another pick, so you can probably bring in somebody who's more NBA ready, you know, maybe a vet in college.
Yo, real quick, I'm just throw this out there. The Rock never stopped said that this guy Kessler Edwards could be Miles Bridges. That's all I'm gonna say. Mikal Bridges, pardon me.
So like I was saying,
Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Is
the Nets are
crazy.
Can you guys compete for a
You really
championship?
said that, bro.
I think so. Ben Simmons is under contract. Kevin Durant is under contract. If you sign Kyrie, he's under contract. So you have those guys for the next 2-3 seasons. So you always have the opportunity to possibly compete for a championship. It really just depends on Kyrie's health, Kevin Durant's health, and
Availability.
who's the rest of the guys
Ben
on the
Simmons'
squad.
availability too, because that's been in question.
Yep, but it's like it's really everything that happens to you guys is a lot of internal stuff. You know, Kyrie's whole vaccine stuff, Ben Simmons not playing, Kevin Durant getting hurt, Kyrie getting hurt. You know, it's a lot of internal stuff. But I do think that the Nets have a chance to, you know, make the championship still. I do think these.
Championship?
I think they have a chance.
Oh my
you know?
god.
Yeah, I still think when you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie, I still think you have a chance. So I think they will go. Like I wouldn't pick them, but they have a chance.
You have a puncher
The
shot.
thing, the thing is, I would agree with you if KD and Kyrie
Excuse me.
played well and still lost. You understand what I'm saying? Because then maybe, you know.
I mean, outside of the Celtics, I don't think any of the defense was going to do that to them in the East. To be fair, I don't think Miami's defense was doing that
Me
to them.
neither.
I don't
I
think
think
the
the
Bucks
Celtics,
defense
they
was
just
doing
ran
that
into
to
a
them.
very
I don't think
elite
Philly.
defense.
Oh
I'm
my
not
god!
disagreeing.
I don't think Philly's defense was doing that to them either. So I think that was just a bad matchup.
Kyrie was bad.
Very bad
KD
matchup.
was
I think-
bad for the first couple.
I think
No,
that
KD was
just a-
bad for every game except the last one.
I think
I
that
thought he
just
was
a-
decent game 3 also.
I thought
No,
it was
he
just
was
a
bad
was
outside
it
of
three-
game one.
Game 4,
No,
he
game
had
4.
37. That was his
Oh,
only
you're
game.
right.
Game
Like
four,
KD,
no,
KD,
game
KD,
one.
Talk about KD. Talk about
No,
KD.
talking about KD.
KD.
Yeah, no,
KD.
Kyrie was great
Yeah, I
game
think
1
if
in that
if they fill out the roster, they can still be a competitive.
It was still a
ass
close
team in the-
series.
Oh, every game was close. Go ahead.
the excuses, though.
Come on, bro. What did I say that was an excuse,
You
though?
got to stop with the hypotheticals, the if this, if that. Oh, we would have won if this guy was hurt.
You don't think we would have won if we was all healthy?
Matter. We're 2 years in. The Bucks have a chip. It doesn't matter.
No. I hear you. It's a fact.
You guys got to look at yourselves.
No, but that ties into my Nets point. I said they've had a lot of misfortune happen. I said the first year KD redshirted. The second year when the big three was, they all went down with catastrophic injuries. Game 2 and in the season 3.
What's misfortune about KD going over 8 in overtime?
Over 6.
Misfortune
I'm
also.
not blaming him, bro. He had 49 that
But
game,
misfortune
bro. It's not his
also
fault.
is a synonym of an excuse.
No, but then again, you know what I will say that will help your points? We signed these guys. No. We signed these guys knowing that this was a possibility to happen with the injuries.
True.
So
you went on a ceiling for sure, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're still going, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's like signing Kyrie's the obvious move, but like,
what else is there to do?
I literally,
Who can
my
we
notes
replace him?
are exactly that. What are your other options?
where's he
Outside
gonna
of-
go?
Maybe, not bringing back
Kyrie for
Kyrie,
Dame?
trading him. Maybe just getting Miles Bridges, man. Get a significantly better guy.
The market is low, surprisingly, for a star like Kyrie.
Who wants him though?
Exactly.
Even
I
if
was
it
actually
high.
I was actually reading this article on Hoops Habit by Jack Simone. Well, I think he also writes for Enjoy Basketball. Shout out to them. And he did a trade that would involve Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Maxi Kleba, and picks to the Nets for Kyrie Irving.
KD's gone.
I actually think that Nets team is better.
No,
Wait, what'd you say? What'd you
KD's
say?
gone.
Jalen Brunson, Finney-Smith, and Kleba.
KD's gone.
For Kyrie. I
think
think
if
that
Kyrie-
Nets team is better.
I agree with you, but I think if Kyrie leaves, KD's gone. That's just me.
Fake,
though.
I think so,
KD.
But then again,
wanted to-
KD did sign a 5-year extension.
KD,
Brunson, 20-point per game scorer.
KD went to Brooklyn just to play with Kyrie. I personally don't think he cares about the winning aspect
Dorian
of it all.
Finney-Smith.
I think he just wants to go play basketball with Kyrie and play hoops. If Kyrie leaves, I don't see why he stays in Brooklyn, honestly.
And that's really what I was saying too. Is if you're gonna let Kyrie walk, then that's
You're
it.
punting
you
it.
go. You really laid it out perfectly. You let Kyrie walk. You have to trade KD following that, and you basically have to go into full rebuild.
With no picks.
Your two options.
Well, a lot
get
of pick swaps.
But you'll
KD back.
get picks for KD.
And Ben.
Oh, that's a smart thing
Yes,
to do. Yeah.
and you're probably signing
Very
trade.
smart.
You're probably signing trade Kyrie also.
So you get some picks.
Your two options are you either bring back Kyrie and you try to run it back with this roster, or you completely rebuild. There's no in between because there's no way that I see KD playing with someone out that's not Kyrie Irving next season.
Yeah, me neither. I agree.
Because I can't see a world where KD wants Ben Simmons to be his number 2.
I want to know, because I want you to speak on this a little bit more. What's the, like, you're going to re-sign Kyrie. I think that's pretty obvious.
We're just playing hardball with him right now.
How do you fix what happened to you guys against Boston? Like, what do you think are the keys to that?
Dorian
Like,
Finney-Smith.
You need defenders. That's essentially what he's saying. You need defenders
yeah,
that can shoot. You
guys
need
like
3
that,
and D
like-
players.
We need.
You
And
need
we also
3 and
need
Ds.
a. We also.
what do you? But more in what does KD and Kyrie need to improve on?
I don't think it's more so that they need to improve on. I think the pieces around them needed to be better. You have to
fact.
remember that with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, that was a top heavy roster.
Right.
You didn't really need to have role players filled out because you were like, yo, these 3 are gonna take us all the way. The role players are whatever. With James Harden leaving though, you had a bad team. You had Kyrie, Kevin Durant together around subpar role players. Bruce Brown. Seth Curry's he's a really
Throw
good
some
player.
respect on Bruce Brown.
No, Bruce Brown. No, look, let me start because I was really low on Bruce Brown during the year. He definitely stepped up and turned his game around. But my thing is the roster. Sean Marks went into the season thinking that it was going to be his big 3.
What did you say?
Nah,
What did you
Nothing. He
say?
didn't say anything. It was just a noise. But yeah, like I said,
crazy.
like I said, Riv. Like I said though, they went into the season with a constructed roster around the big 3. But
And then
Kyrie,
you made the trade mid-season. You got some good pieces back.
we didn't get any defensive players. But I think had
traded a non-defender
You got
for
Ben.
non-defense.
he didn't
But he
play.
didn't play. But
But
that's
I'm
what
saying-
I'm saying.
No,
Well,
saying he
to
didn't
be
play.
fair, the Nets like this offseason,
And we didn't have a big man either. Bro.
I don't think this offseason the Nets have to do much outside of get maybe one player because the additions are Joe Harris and Ben Simmons to the team.
Yeah.
Basically.
So Seth is coming back, obviously.
Yeah, he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna start
You need a
though.
backup big.
Yeah, I
Drummond's
agree.
gone.
I don't know if LaMarcus
Was
Aldridge
started.
is coming back. He's kind of old.
I think you need to try your hardest to get Miles Turner. Yeah, I
like
think
Miles
if
Turner.
you're the Nets,
I was-
Stop
I'm-
acting like Miles Turner's a fixer.
I'm an advocate.
he's a
I'm an
great
advocate.
stretch 5,
He
and he
doesn't
can
play.
rim protect great.
He's always hurt.
To be honest,
It was this last season.
He's a very good rim protector. He can
still
stretch
was
the
one
floor.
of the league
He's
leader in
not a bad
blocks.
player. I would like to have him on my
For
on my
sure.
team as
I
my
just feel like his name gets thrown around for every single team.
because he fits more.
specifically
He
the Nets.
fits a lot of teams.
But let me ask you a
does.
question: a lineup of Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Seth, Ben.
No,
and
Seth's
Joe
not
Harris.
starting. Joe Harris
No, I'm
is
saying
starting
that's
over
probably
him.
gonna. That's probably offensively. That's probably your best line. But
That's
kinda
going to be a
hot.
great
That's
offense.
kinda hot.
defensively, yeah, worried. Yeah, not worried about that lineup. Kyrie, Seth, Joe, Katie, Ben.
I wouldn't start Seth. I'd bring
Kyrie,
Seth up
Kyrie,
I don't think he's gonna
Kyrie,
start.
Joe, KD. I'm not worried about.
Kyrie, I'm
Joe
worried
Harris
about.
is a solid defender.
against
Kevin Durant's
bigger
good.
wings, not against
Ben
his
Simmons is going to
position.
take that.
And
that
Bruce Brown's going to be in that rotation also. So defensively,
yeah,
But offensively,
it
putting
depends.
Bruce
I don't
and Ben
know.
is
I
weird.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
He can
I
at
don't know
least
about
hit
that.
jumpers.
Who?
Bruce.
Oh yeah.
He's got improved. I don't know.
He improved on it.
He's
But
improved,
that's
but
still
I
a
don't
weird.
know.
That's
I wouldn't
still
run that
double-teaming
lineup
Kyrie
though.
and KD essentially.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
That's still going to be double. Seeing
The key-
KD and Kyrie are going to see a lot of.
So
double
that's
teams.
fine, but this a
The
lot
key
of
for
a
the
lot
Nets
of
is
their
getting a stretch five, bro.
100%. So a big issue that they had in this playoffs
I think
also
KD and
was
Kyrie
that
need a five
but
out lineup.
Seth
agree
wasn't
too.
hitting jumpers. Seth is going to be back next season. I doubt we
Seth
see
can't
the
be
same
the
Seth.
only other guy.
No,
though.
I'm
Joe
not.
Harris
I'm not
Bruce
disagreeing.
wasn't being
All right,
guarded, to
Joe
be fair.
Harris is still going to come in. He's going to knock down some jumpers.
Hopefully.
Bruce wasn't getting
No,
guarded
during the season he will.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the playoffs.
I
don't
understand.
even care
Very
about the
true.
regular season.
But Bruce,
y'all are a playoff team at
now
this point.
you're saying Bruce wasn't getting guarded. Is he going to get guarded next season?
Is he going to hit shots like that again? Do you trust that?
Probably.
Do you trust
I
that?
have to see it more.
I have to see it more
I don't,
too.
But he
I don't
did improve,
disagree.
though.
But he showed it for a good stretch of games where I can at least go into next season relatively confident that he can do so. Is that not fair?
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair. Well, we have to see what the Nets do going forward. I think as long as they have Kyrie and KD, then
Heidi.
Kyrie is a good nickname.
That's a
right?
cute chip name.
That
That's a
is-
cute chip name.
That is a pretty good nickname.